In this video, I'm going to talk about how much wealth should you have at 40 and ways to do it. So I'm going to talk about several strategies. Number one, how much money should you put away now that you're in your 40s? I'm going to talk about investment vehicles that can get you there and do a little catch up. And then a big one that will just put your mind at ease so you don't have to stress about it. And then at the end, I'm going to give you a super duper bonus to just surge a ton of money into those accounts for later in life. So you're in your 40s. How much money should you have put away? And how much do you need to put away? Right? There's a lot of financial calculators, and I would highly encourage you to just go get your favorite, right? Earmark it, bookmark it, and go back to it and just play with numbers. Because really, financial advisors would say you need 3 times your salary put away. Really, in your 40s, I always think that's a little short. Because if you make $50,000, they'd say you need 150 put away by now. Right? If you make 100, you should have 300 put away by now. And this is talking in your 40s. So what's interesting though about retirement calculators is if you notice, and it drives me crazy, is they love the bell curve. Right? So you're young, you make a bunch of money, 30s and 40s is your highest, earning years, which you should be in right now. And then as you get older, you go into fixed income and need less money. I don't know about you, but I'm not doing this journey to have some low fixed income social insecurity at the end of it. Like that is a crazy goal. To me, the post 40 is legacy planning, right? Pouring more and more money in and doing generational wealth. And I'm not talking about your first line of kids. I have clients that really, their first line of kids, they're kind of like threw up their hands and said, they're impossible. I said, well, give me your kids. I'll mentor them because I'll get them in shape. But some parents won't do that. They're just going to do what's called generational skipping the whole darn thing. And they're going to give them to the next batch of kids. I don't know who's going to educate them if the first line's not getting done, but that's a problem for a different video. But think about it. Seriously, you're in your 40s, high income years, should be your high income years. By the way, if you're one of those people sitting home on unemployment because of all the stimulus, I can guarantee you, this video is not for you. Good luck with your life. I had to put that little block in there. So seriously, how much money do you want? Play with calculators. How much, if you put away $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 extra a year. You do that for 10 years, that's $120,000 invested at 10%. Just play with the easy math, play with numbers. I'm going to put it in a reverse. So here's just some basic math, and I hear this all the time, and I always say, CFS, common freaking sense. So if you have $1 million, because everybody thinks $1 million is a lot of money, it's really not. Right? So $1 million invested at 12%. Let's just use easy math. Right? That's $120,000 a year. Divide by 12 is $10,000 a month. So when I hear people's numbers and I say, people say, well, I want $1 million. Well, $10,000 a month be enough. So say you started accumulating your $1 million and you put it to work in great investment vehicles. I'd actually say okay, because we're only using 10, 12%. Is $10,000 going to be enough for you later in life? Is that going to give you the life that you want? Right? Assuming that you're really not going to be out creating active income. Just give that some thought. So people who have 100,000 put away, that's typically 1,000 a month in extra cash flow. Typically not enough for most people, even if you add your social insecurity check to it. So let's do some planning. I want you to not plan and go, oh, it's heavy. I want you to plan with creativity and curiosity. What could you do? How could you make more money? What could you do to relook at your life right now and how you're spending and put more money away for later versus have it all now? Now, I'm not a huge fan of that because I want to have it now and I want to have it my way, probably like a lot of you, but that means you got to create more money. So either way you want to have it, I need you putting money away. So let's talk about where do you invest? What are those vehicles for investing? My favorite is my Roth, right? Obviously, I'm going to wave the Roth flag. So the Roth, the reason I like that vehicle is that it grows inside, tax-deferred, tax-free. So invested well, you could have, and I always share it, you could have a digital currency. Buy it really low, let it grow, right? You could buy some of these stocks that have had some real volatility. You could eventually, you can only put $6,000 a year away. In your up until 50, and then you can put 7,000 away. So it's not the only vehicle, but it is your tax-free vehicle. So what else should you have? Well, if you've been employed, you probably have a 401k. Later in life, you can self-direct it. I'm working with some clients, actually policemen, that are moving out of Washington to Texas, true story. all mine are 2 stories, by the way. They have some, nice big retirement that they can self-direct, now start buying land. They could go out and buy an RV park. They could buy other, real estate properties. So self-direct those 401ks when you leave your employer. If you leave it behind, you potentially aren't going to get the returns and clearly not the diversity, because all you have is the 401k that is allowed by that employer. But Roth is one vehicle. 401k, you can do solo 401ks, which is a vehicle that your own company, so if you have your own LLC, your own S Corp, C Corp, your own company can have that vehicle. I would load that up. One thing we don't talk a lot about, I don't think anybody talks a lot about, is called an HSA. It's a health savings account. That's another great vehicle for later year long-term care that you can put money into that, let that grow and grow and grow. And then just some other ones, like I love our iFlip app. So it's a free app. It's a software that algorithmically trades you in the market, AI driven, is making well into double-digit returns. So where else can you look for creating wealth in your 40s? So look at your lazy assets. That is a shocking column, especially for you women. I have a new client. She looked at her lazy assets. She was married to someone that had a fair amount of money. They created it, together while their kids were growing. But she is in her 40s and she has millions, and I would consider them lazy assets. They're in properties that have accumulated a lot of equity. They're not really cash flowing, so she's got a lot of equity that's lazy assets inside those properties. She has very unattended stock market, just, parked her money with the financial planner and praying he's going to do something with it. Very unattended, not highly invested or well invested. Other places for lazy assets, just cash is not invested. Look at your vehicles. If you acquired some vehicles, boats, RVs, stuff, right? Can you liquidate all that stuff to create cash to go buy better vehicles so you can create more wealth? Watch your appreciating assets versus your depreciating assets. But lazy assets is an interesting column. And I got to put a big exclamation on those left behind 401ks. A lot of people leave them behind. I had a client one time, had 9 jobs, 9 401ks, and had to accumulate all of them and move them into one account versus 9 accounts. Because independently, the way he was thinking, it's like 2,000, 12,000, 14,000. Independently, it wasn't a lot, but when you put it all together, it was quite a bit of money. So accumulate and look through your lazy assets, and then just at your assets. Are your assets performing the way you want? And what I love to ask clients, and you that are out there watching, is your portfolio, your asset base, the way you want it? I mean, what I love about Shark Tank is it just amplifies what I've been doing. I love Off Wall Street. I love restaurants. I love hair salons. I love private businesses that are obvious, how to make the money, how to serve a client, how to serve a customer. What do you want in your portfolio? Because right now, you're in the most volatile market. Everything is on sale, and almost every business you want to walk into, they need capital. So you could walk yourself in and be a capital partner. So the whole video on how much money you need to put away, right, is your goal setting. What was your initial goal setting? And then the vehicles that you can use to put it away. The super duper bonus, before I give it to you, I want you to ring the bell, put it in there. I want notifications coming to you. Every time I have a live video, it'll pop out to you. And I want you really to put some comments right now. How are you feeling about your financial literacy? Right? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you very financially literate? What are you hearing from my conversation that you need to improve more of? Now, the super duper bonus, right? For those of you who say, I don't have enough put away, right? Based on the formulas, I want 1 million, I want 3 million, Laurel. So how do I do it? Super duper bonus is the obvious. You're going to start your own company. And it's not going to be a side hustle. I kind of make fun. I say side hustles are for the extra hundreds or thousands you want a month. I want you to do a hustle, meaning let's go for 100 grand. Right? Sometimes your first 100,000 as an entrepreneur is the hardest money you're ever going to make. It's worth it. So what is it that you're an expert in? What could you do? What's a hobby? I have a gentleman actually in Utah. He was doing amazing like welding and just worked a lot with metals. And he became a metal artist. And I can tell you, he's selling these beautiful metal gates that you can custom design with your family, either, emblem in, your initials in, massive big gates for $20,000, $30,000. Started subbing, started systemizing, replicating, duplicating. That company became a 7-figure business, and now it's probably going to be sellable to someone. So take a hobby, take something, and let's make it 6 figures. And most of that money I want to put away. Right? Between now and the next 20 years into your 60s, I want all this new money that you're going to create as much as you can. I'd like to say 100% because you're already living somehow on what you're living. So no increase in lifestyle, all increase in asset and put it away, put it in the right place, and invest it for life. You will be a millionaire, number one. But number two, you get to have the freedom that you deserve. So to get all this started, I need you to read 3 chapters. You can all do that. If you don't want to read, have somebody read to you. All right, so you're going to go to the link below. You're going to open up my Millionaire Maker book, and you're going to read chapters 1, 2, and 3. After you read them, you're going to fill out a profile. That's a gap analysis to tell me where you are. How much money have you made so far in your 40s? What have you done? And then if you want, you can click a little box at the bottom of that form and say, could I have somebody please call me? And one of our teammates will call you, talk through how we can take what you have, where you are today, and move you to what you want.